Good morning, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to our first European Financial Services Test Automation Day. 4 weeks ago, we held SourceCon online for the first time, and that was to great success. So today, we're following up with a more specific set of talks regarding test automation and financial services. So I think if every business now is a digital business, the app is now the core value proposition. The app is the kind of storefront of the 21st century. And given the challenges created by this ongoing health crisis, it's now often the only vehicle through which businesses can deliver products and services to their customers. That's why the leading brands across all major verticals are increasingly focused on promoting that ability to access those goods and services via apps. The leading brands clearly recognise that the app is now the value proposition, and the digital experience can make or break a brand because of that. This was true before the current health crisis, and it will definitely continue long after the current crisis has gone. If I think back to before this pandemic, when I travelled a lot more than I am now, both for pleasure and for work, I never went to a travel agent on the street. I actually can't even remember doing that since maybe I was a child, which is a long time ago. Now I tend to use the apps that I trust most. I use, British Airways for flights, different hotel apps. I even use taxis to book my travel to the airport, taxi apps and so on, and different ones. And if I have a poor experience, if I've had a poor experience, I'm not patient. I've just flipped to another brand. So my loyalty has become dependent on my digital experience. And so I tend to only use the brands now that I've had a great digital experience with. And while I'll acknowledge that financial services is different to that travel sector, and I'm less likely to flip my bank than I am an airline, financial services is definitely not immune from this. And increasingly, it's the digital experience that's driving your customer acquisition and your customer loyalty. So let's look at some more specific examples. So financial startups, challengers and disruptors, they're really competing on user experience and customer experience, and that is the digital experience. I picked Monzo because my 20-year-old daughter, she's a huge advocate of Monzo. She's always trying to get me onto this. She's already recruited her younger brothers and I got them started on Monzo too. They're true kind of digital natives with high expectations on great experiences, but also on immediacy and on transparency. When I typed Monzo into Google Images, this is the first picture that came up. You can see here the app is clearly the value proposition and it links the brand and the card. And it's the same with N26 on the continent, exactly the same. Although I do think they've got a very, very cool card there. I like that. And then TransferWise on the bottom right there, they're doing the same, disrupting digital financial foreign exchange transactions with cheap and easy access to foreign currency all through the app. But I obviously don't want to exclude the more established brands. I picked HSBC and Generali as two examples here. And especially as you can see here, HSBC is demonstrating what we all expect, that our digital experience will be the same regardless of the device and the operating system we're using. And so whatever type of financial services company you are, even if you're providing trading systems and platforms to trading desks and it's not customer facing or retail facing, the app is still the value prop and the digital experience of your customers and your users is your brand. However, knowing that you need to provide a flawless digital experience is one thing. Actually doing it is another matter, and most organizations still have a long way to go. Offering a digital experience is simply not enough. To excel, you have to know how to deliver digital confidence. I better explain what we mean by digital confidence and what does it take to have it. Firstly, it means knowing that you're creating, delivering the best possible user experience for your customers. It also means knowing that your web and mobile applications look, function and perform exactly as you intended before your customers ever interact with them. And most importantly, it means your customers have no doubt that your web and mobile applications will work flawlessly and deliver a delightful experience every single time they use them, no exceptions. And if you know that digital experience is every bit as your customers expect, digitally confident organizations will move quickly to release new and updated applications to market more quickly, and their customers will move just as quickly and confident to use them. So you start building up confidence within your own organization, but also confidence within your own customers. And that drives more and more usage. And perhaps, as I was saying with talking about my daughter, they start to advocate on your behalf. They start telling people how good that digital experience is, and other people begin to use it too. Why is it so important that organizations achieve that digital confidence and deliver that flawless application experience to their customers? Simply, your customers will accept nothing less, and your business will suffer if you don't. I've got some examples here. So it's obviously there's at Source Labs, you'd expect me to say things like this, but what I also want to cover is some additional research that has shown time and again that customers will not tolerate poor user experience. But it's also shown that customers repeatedly treated to a flawless experience will spend more and spread the word and stay loyal to your brand. So I've got 3 examples here to look at. But firstly, according to the research from McKinsey & Company, 25% of customers will abandon a brand after just one bad experience. And I want to repeat that. If you deliver a poor user experience to a customer just one time, you risk losing that customer and the associated revenue or loyalty forever. And then according to research from HBR, Harvard Business Review, customers who had the best past experience spend 140% more than customers who had a poorest past experience. Now, those are obviously kind of a little bit kind of retail focused, but you can imagine how those could apply to financial services. And then finally, according to Enterprise Management Associates ROI report that they did for Source Labs, an improved customer experience is the single biggest quantifiable benefit of using test automation through Source Labs. So that's why we made it our mission. We want to create a world of digital confidence. We want businesses to have complete confidence their digital applications will work flawlessly every single time they're used, and we want their customers to share in that confidence. So how do we do that? One of the reasons I joined Source Labs was our list of customers. And one of the main reasons they're our customers is how we help them automate testing across real devices. Emulation and simulation is a highly valued way to automate testing. But in a world where the mobile app is often the primary and the first digital experience your customers have, another level of automated testing and digital confidence is essential. That's even more true, I think, for financial services, and the breadth of devices we have here is staggering. Many of you require additional security, dedicated devices, which of course we provide as well. And it won't surprise you to hear that during this pandemic, we've been able to help more and more customers utilize real devices in our cloud and in our European data centers while they've been unable to access their device carts and their device farms in their offices. I often wonder how many of those want to go back to that model when this crisis is over. And obviously we hope they'll stay using us. And then with our virtual device cloud, you have access to hundreds of browser and OS combinations and mobile emulations and simulators. Running tests in parallel can also reduce testing time tenfold. And then our deeper analysis tools enable for faster finding and fixing of bugs. And that is really important because that accelerates the time to value. That's everything when you're trying to get apps to market quickly. And then finally, fully integrating Source Labs with your DevOps pipeline enables that ultimate reward. Releasing better quality software faster and more regularly so you can continue to focus on improving and delivering that awesome customer experience. And so while our virtual and real device clouds delivers the testing and automation you need, it's the actionable insights and analytics that accelerate companies towards that greater digital confidence and that flawless digital experience. So let's take a look at that too. 3 examples here. So firstly, visualizing the trends and results from all of that testing, all of that automation that you're doing, that enables customers to more easily identify areas for improvement in their DevOps pipeline. Failure analysis rapidly improves test efficiency and then enables you to prioritize remediation. And then analyzing metrics like build by team, by application, by platform and browser, that enables companies to focus on the resources where they're most needed by identifying those issues and challenges throughout the life cycle. And while I believe those 3 areas of real device cloud, virtual device cloud, and insights makes us a very special partner to work with, here's what I think makes us truly unique. Firstly, it's our commitment to open source. We were co-founded by the creator of Selenium and Appium, as many of you know, and we remain active open source contributors. Our platform is truly enterprise grade, and we've run over 3 billion tests executed on that platform. It's highly scalable, highly performant, and highly secure. And then the visibility of the application performance and the analytics that we provide really is unique. So let's take a slightly deeper look at security. We realized the importance of embedding great security throughout everything we do. And in January of this year, Justin Jolly joined Source Labs as our Chief Security Officer to really drive that forward and make this happen. But it's not just a role, a person, or even a team. This is a whole company. The whole company of Source Labs is dedicated to protecting our platform and our customers in a continuous, disciplined, and highly driven effort. And it's a commitment to operational excellence that's really driving that forward. So what does this actually mean for you as customers? We are focused globally across every single discipline of our business. We use the data that we have to drive our decisions and where we focus, while ensuring that we comply with the standards required to build, that you'd expect to build, a lasting customer trust. And there's one thing, by the way, that also makes us unique on top of this. In my 6 months here, something I've heard back time and again from our customers is the value they get from our experts. This is something that's difficult to quantify. The advice and recommendations our customers get and that our experts provide are rarely to do with the Source Labs platform or the Source Labs technology. It's actually about how to improve test automation, test quality, and ultimately how you help your own business partners internally accelerate what they do, which helps their internal customers deliver the high quality apps to your customers, which you expect. So I've got 4 examples here on the screen. I could have another 2 or 3 screens of these examples. And later you'll hear from Wim if you're in track 2. And if you're in track 1, I strongly suggest that you go back and listen to track 2 later. And if you're lucky enough to be in Wim's track, I strongly suggest you go back and listen to Andy's track later. But just as an example, these are the people who show up at continuous testing meetups. They're the people who our customers ask time and again to come on site or to their internal seminars to give their viewpoints, to give their opinions. And I think having a valid opinion that comes from years spent in the industry and then coming to Source Labs really helps differentiate us in what's going on. So if you don't know some of these people, seek them out or contact us. We'll put you in contact and we can have some conversations. Okay, so finally, before I provide a glimpse of our roadmap, I wanted to take a look at some of the trends that are really transforming testing at the moment. So firstly, regardless of industry, most people would agree that it's now mobile first, but not mobile only. We saw that a long time ago, and hence the investment that we made in the real device cloud, but it's becoming stronger and stronger. And again, throughout this current health crisis, we've seen how important mobile is, but also equally how important testing is in that whole process. Secondly, the speed of CI/CD means that we just simply cannot continue testing as we have done before. The speed of CI/CD requires far greater optimization and automation. That's really where obviously Source Labs has sat for a long time. And then lastly, and probably, well, maybe is the most important point here, is testing is shifting both left and right towards both developers and towards production. Those 3 trends together mean that a new approach is required. It's no longer enough to do things as we've been doing. We have to look forward and we have to look more broadly. And this is how Source Labs thinks that challenge can be met. Firstly, what I've shown today is what we at Source Labs and our customers, and I expect our customers too, would describe as classic Source, test automation during the testing phases. That's always going to be required, and that will always be a core strength of Source Labs. But as I was just saying, those trends that are happening means that the opportunity to help our customers has expanded way beyond that to the DevOps toolchain, where we can connect the dots to drive continuous improvement throughout the full life cycle of development, test, and production. So if I shift left for a second and look at the developers, it's increasingly about better code quality. If you're a developer, you build it, you own it. today's developers can't hand off code until it's proven to be stable over months and sometimes years of production validation. Developers are being asked to work across an ever-broadening set of disciplines. And where once developers would only write code, now they have to think about production monitoring and testing, analytics, code consistency, and so on. So our DevX open community project leverages OSS to solve developer pipeline testing with tools like Puppeteer and Playwright. These are open source projects that enable access to everything a browser can do. I said it's a really important focus for us, and is driving one of those efforts for us. And then if I shift right for production, testing is becoming increasingly important to optimize that digital experience and that digital confidence. And that, for example, that means things like API testing, error reporting, and enabling more analytics, insights, and expertise that help drive that continuous improvement required when the app is truly the value proposition. I started out by giving you some examples of how the app has become the value proposition, and then how in financial services it's always been a core part of the value proposition, but how digital experience and customer experience is the new grounds on which people are competing for customer acquisition and customer loyalty. So what I hope I've been able to show you today is our mission at Source Labs is to help create that world of digital confidence. We want to help businesses like you have that complete confidence in all of your digital applications, that they'll work flawlessly every single time they're used. We want your customers to help share in that confidence.